This is a C6 Z06, and I think it's one of the best sports cars ever built. The interior has more plastic than the Kardashians. It drinks fuel like a college frat boy, and if you hammer down on that gas pedal, it might just try to kill you. See, these are the things that make this car great. This car set out with one simple goal in mind, and that was to crush the competition and do it for less money than your annual salary. Back in 2007, this Z06 had a starting price around $65,000. Now that is a lot of car for the money. Under the hood, you got a 7-liter V8, and it makes a whopping 505 horsepower. It can get you a speeding ticket in 3.6 seconds and land you in jail in 11.7. One thing that makes this car so amazing, even by today's standards, is the power to weight combo on this Vette. The car weighs in at only 3,147 pounds, thanks to a slew of exotic materials.
Inside this LS7, there's forged titanium connecting rods, as well as titanium valves. The engine cradle in the car is magnesium, and so is the fixed roof. These front fenders, carbon fiber. The floorboards on this car are also carbon fiber. The frame in this car is made out of aluminum. It's 136 pounds lighter than the steel frame that comes in a regular C6. For the race fans out there that are looking to take this car to the track, this car comes with a dry sump oiling system, which is obviously a huge perk for a road car. Chevrolet was out to compete against Ferrari and some of the Europeans, and those are the types of systems that they run in their cars too. So Chevrolet didn't skimp out and they went with the dry sump system. Now in 09, they made the tanks a little bit larger. So the previous generation cars, such as this one, had a bit of a smaller tank. So this one holds around 8 liters or 7 liters. And the newer ones, I want to say, held around 9 or 10. So that is something you can actually send out if you do buy a previous car to 09. You can send yours out and actually have an expanded tank built to give you a little bit more oil cooling capacity. With the brakes on these cars, you did get a 6-piston front caliper, and they had padlets. So there's 3 individual pads on the front calipers. But this car in particular has 0-1 brakes all the way around. So it's got big, massive fixed calipers, 6-piston up front, single pad, 2-piece gyro disc rotors in all 4 corners. Now on the interior of this Vette, it is a little bit dated. But once again, Chevrolet wasn't out to win any awards on the interior, they were out to win awards on the racetrack, and that's what they did. Now guys, I'm 6'5" and I'm a pretty large individual, but I find that I fit in here pretty decently. The headroom's actually okay because there is kind of almost like cutouts in here for additional headroom with this fixed roof, and the legroom's not bad. My knees are getting close to the dash, but I mean, my knees are getting close to the dash in any car I sit in. Now this car is a 3LZ model, so it does get you heated seats, navigation, Bose audio, HomeLink, and memory power seats. Now guys, there is something that I have left out so far in this review, and that is that this Corvette is actually my car. So I might be a little bit biased when it comes to reviewing this thing.
See, when I was younger, I always felt like my parents were so out of touch with us kids, and I always swore I would never be that way. Well, this year I turned 40, and I can't help but feel a disconnect with most of today's youth. Today's youth have 47 pronouns, they all paint their nails, and they love electric cars. Probably because Greta told them to, and probably because the government's gaslighting them.
How dare you!
But you know what? I just can't relate to these things, and I especially can't relate to the electric car. See, some of these electric cars are probably even faster than this Vette, but the problem I have is that they lack a soul. My microwave is faster than my grill, but you'll never catch me microwaving a steak.
Brother, what's that, brother?
And that's just it. See, you push the button on this fire-breathing LS7, and not only does it come to life, but so do you, because you know you're about to go for a drive in one of the wildest Vettes ever made.
Driving the car, I kind of feel like a bit of a bad boy, especially in our city, because our cops do not like modified cars. Now this car we're driving has heads, cans, and stuff like that. So it's pretty rowdy. There's actually a cop driving beside me right now, so I'm just trying to be as quiet as I can, but I don't know how this is gonna work out. Hopefully we don't get pulled over. Looks like we should be okay. But yeah, driving the car, you know, it's a comfortable car to drive. It is wide, so you obviously got to keep that in mind, the width of your lane and stuff like that, try to stay in your own lane. One thing that's really cool with this car is even though it is like a 17-year-old Vette, it still turns a lot of heads. A lot of people look at this car, it's still, in my opinion, like a timeless design. It's one of those cars that I feel like will always look good just due to the, you know, the wide body, the big wide stance, big aggressive stance, big wide tires on it. You know, and not only that, the noises this car makes, you know, that's definitely probably one of the other reasons why people look. When you get stopped at a light, the thing just chops and chops and chops. So listen to those downshifts, just absolutely amazing. This car, you can probably hear a little bit of squealing as well. There's race pads on this car right now, so it's kind of a little embarrassing to drive through town. You always have the race pads squealing whenever you're coming to a stop. But other than that, yeah, really nice car. Really decent to drive. The only real flaws with the car that I think we should probably talk about or address is the transmission tunnel when you're driving the car, as I said, on a really hot night. The transmission tunnel does get a little bit warm.
I'm on fire!
Okay.
It's all right, you're not on fire! I knew it, you're lying!
Relax.
I'm burned! There is no fire!
Speaking of actual flaws with these cars, like not everything can be positive, so there is a couple negatives. The LS7s are known for having head problems. So if you do buy one of these cars, it's very important to change the heads on these cars. And more recently, there's been problems popping up with the coating on the rods coming off, and it's causing bearings to spin and stuff like that, causing engine failure. So that's been a more common concern recently, and a lot of people feel that Chevrolet should have recalled it, but that hasn't happened yet. It's a nice car to drive through the city, but where you'll really have a lot of fun with this car is on the track. So driving around the track, the car's got loads of grip and the turn-in's amazing. It's very competitive, obviously being almost 20 years old. So now this Vette that we're driving has brakes for days. Now a Z06 normally comes with really good brakes. This one comes with ZR1 brakes. So it's got big, massive calipers, and we've got two-piece rotors on it from gyro disc. And now this car that we're driving right now has the heads done and cam in it with full exhaust. Listen to that thing. Now, when you are driving this car on a racetrack, there is a competitive driving mode. All you need to do is find the traction button, it's located just below the shifter, push on the button twice, and that'll get you in a competitive driving mode. Now, if you're an advanced driver, such as myself, what I like to do is just shut the traction completely off, right? Because sometimes the aids will get in the way. Sometimes your active handling will kick in, even still in competitive driving mode. So I find the best way to avoid all of that is just turn it all off completely. Now guys, as much fun as this is putting around the racetrack, let's see what this thing's like on the limits. We're gonna pull in, strap on a helmet, and take it out for a rip. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed the review video on the Corvette Z06. Now, I want to mention something that this wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for our friends over at the Winnipeg Sports Car Club. Getting track time where we live is next to impossible. We only have one track around our local area, and that's Gimli Motorsports Park where we were. And the Winnipeg Sports Car Club was so kind to us to let us come out on one of their open lapping events to try to get some rollers around the track and get some footage like we did. So big, massive thanks to our friends over at the WSCC. Make sure to check them out on Instagram, Facebook, etc., etc. They have events going on all summer long, and definitely go out, check one out, and get your car on track and see what it's all about. Now, guys, I haven't done a car review in like over a year, so I'm trying to obviously bring you guys something pretty cool and pretty special, or at least I think it's pretty cool. And I'm only going to continue to get better and better and better. So, guys, if you aren't subscribed to this channel already, please take the time, hit that like button, please drop a comment, and please consider subscribing to our channel. I'm going to get better and better and better every video we do. And yeah, we're looking to bring you guys great content. As well, if you are in the local Winnipeg area and you have a very cool track-focused car, supercar type cars like McLarens and Lambos, Ferraris, stuff like that, newer vettes, Z06, C8s, whatever. If you had high-end stuff like that and you'd be interested in seeing us do a review on it on the channel, make sure to reach out to us, and we would love to meet up with you and see what we can do. Thanks, guys.